Willie Horton will take his place with the other Tiger greats when his number 23 is retired and he gets his own statue out at Comerica Park. Shireen Sasky visits with the man whose legacy is going to live forever in Detroit.
I look back in life, I was very fortunate that the Tiger gave me opportunity, and I went out and performed.
The pitch. Fastball, base hit. Tigers are going to win this one. There's the winning run, and McClain wins his 30th ball game of the year as Willie Horton comes up with a big base hit. In the bottom of the ninth, the Tigers score 2, and look at this celebration on the field.
When you say Tiger, that's me, and when you say Tigers players, that's my family.
It's a passionate love affair that began nearly 4 decades ago when a Detroit high school kid who used to sneak into Briggs Stadium smacked a pitch into the right field tower during a city championship game. It intensified when Willie Horton signed with his hometown heroes. As the powerful slugger became a fixture in the Detroit lineup, the Old English D bonded to his heart. The 4-time All-Star slugged 262 homers and collected nearly 1,500 hits in his 15-year tenure with the Tigers. Yet his performances off the field were even more impressive as Horton became a leader in this community.
That's the commitment I made. My dad said, hey, don't sign that contract unless your life belongs to the public, and I got totally involved.
When his extraordinary playing career ended, Willie Horton returned to the community he loved so much. He has been a mainstay with the Detroit organization, helping say goodbye to his beloved Tiger Stadium and then helping to open the Tigers' new home, Comerica Park. It is here that his legacy will be honored among other Detroit legends with the retiring of his number 23 and the unveiling of his statue.
I used to get fascinated when I see Abraham Lincoln, George Washington statues. I said, wow. And man, I got one of those too. This is unreal. Everybody said, what you gonna say that day? That day gonna tell me what to say.
I'm Shireen Sasky for your Regional Sports Report.
Here's just a short look at some of Horton's career highlights. He played 15 seasons with the Tigers. While with Detroit, he was named to 4 All-Star teams. He hit 20 or more home runs with the Tigers 6 times, including a career-high 36 back in 1968.
And something you don't see in the stats is what he meant to this city during the 1960s. I don't think anybody had quite the same following that Willie Horton did.
And in case you can't be there, of course, we'll be at the induction ceremony. It's tomorrow, 12:15 at Comerica. A complete recap tomorrow night at 11 right here on the Regional.
Going to have to ask Willie here along the game. We're going to have him on. Wonder how he got number 23. He inherited it also.
This broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your TV. And yeah, we will be checking out Willie Horton round about the 3rd inning. 1968 World Series championship. A lot of people say the game 5 and really the entire World Series turned on this throw. Lou Brock did not slide. Willie Horton gunned him.
Bill Freehand, the catcher, blocking the plate. Willie not known for his arm, but gets the job done right there.
Well, in that tandem, Horton and Freehand had teamed up on the exact same sandlot here in Detroit about 10 or 12 years before that throw.
Actually, that throw right there changed the whole World Series. Tigers going on to win in 7 games.
Tim Bogar at the plate. It was Horton in his Tigers uniform, no less, going into the roughest parts of town, urging everyone to stop fighting. A very, very proud native Detroiter. Good pitch from Blair. It's 0-2.
Well, I think we tend to emphasize one's accomplishments on the baseball field. That is not the most important thing in every city. We certainly like to win world championships. Willie Horton did both. Excelled on the field in his community. Did bring a world championship to the city of Detroit in 1968. And I think the perfect choice to symbolize Tigers history in the city of Detroit.
Strike 3 called. Bill Spires takes a seat, 2 out in the inning. Charlie Gehringer, Hal Newhouser, and Al Kaline today. It is his day here in Detroit. He is a native Detroiter. He joins us now in the broadcast booth. Obviously, congratulations, I guess, the word of the day, Willie. And seemed like it was pretty special down there on the field during a nice long ceremony, too.
Well, I tell you, I really I'm glad it's over with. And Kurt said, I'm sleeping night. I'm going to get a long sleep night. But, you know, it's Willie Horton life is here, baseball. And people would generate the energy to get me, go out and perform on the field. And hear it a couple times. Gibson's out. I'm a gamer. I always look at myself as a gamer. But I got my energy from out here in these stands, and I'm proud to represent that.
Well, you represented this city so well for so many years, and we hear the stories about you going as a 16-year-old to what was then Briggs Stadium, Tiger Stadium, of course. It was later named. Polonia pops one up, and it is pursued in right and in center. Hidalgo makes the catch. You hit one in the upper deck as a 16-year-old, and did you know? Did you know?
Right field, though.
Well, to right field, that's true. Did you know then that you had a chance to be a Detroit Tiger?
I tell you, when I hit it, the umpire had to tell me to run because I sat there. I never seen a ball explode like that. We played it in Park. He said you got to go around the ball basically to get a home run. So, but I know that something that back in my early life, and I spoke of early, that I used to run home when they started building John Lodge construction. I used to hit bollard tops across the construction cap with a broom handle, and I used to go home and tell my dad, and he thought I was lying, and he said, you keep coming home saying that, I'm gonna put something on you. But my mom said, keep on doing it. But you did things naturally. You didn't know why you did them, but you just go out and do it. And I think that's what the best thing about baseball, that other people recognize what I could do. I didn't, myself personally, I didn't realize it.
Now, Willie, did you slip by Tiger Stadium before you came here today?
You know what? About 3 weeks ago, Kurt, I went back to Tiger Stadium, and I ain't been back since it closed. And I was there at 5 o'clock in the morning. Me and old ballpark talked, and it was good. I went there. About 2 weeks Wednesday. It's about 5 in the morning. I said, I hope nobody here was seeing me. They think I'm flaking out, but I had to go back and spend some time there. And then I ended up over in the project where I raised up, and then I went out there where bought my mom in my home.
Now, let me ask you a question. I see 23 up there. It's gone right now. Somebody else wore that number too,
Well, I had some warriors. And just think about
so
who
I'm
had
okay
it.
to be on that.
Oh man, you're right.
Team?
You're right. You and Steve Kemp. I've been talking about you guys for the last 3 weeks. I said, why are them guys they on my guest list? I said that's what I like to have. 23, Keith, Steve, and Kurt, because y'all came to play, and they told me, and a couple of people have been calling and say you had to be a manager, the gay baseball player. You think about in the past ball player, who will you take? Pick your 3 or 4. Maybe I'm president. I picked all Tiger. I said Steve Kemp, Kurt, and give me Morris and Purse. And I'd take that and I can build around.
We'd have a good start.
So a couple of 23s in that mix. And
oh man, I tell you, Kurt, like the legacy of that, and like every time I see 23, I think about Charlie Dressen, and I think about. I had 48 on my uniform when I came up. He took that. So you take this dumb and you don't wear it.
Is that how you got 23?
That's how I got it. He said, what you doing with 48? He gave it to me, and I was proud to bring up his name today. But I'm proud to see people like yourself and other had that number. And we had a great career, and what you call gamers, that's my speech in baseball. You got to have them gamers. We cries when it rains, people. We don't like rain. We like to play. We come out there. We go to spring training. We train. If we have to play the Christmas, that's where we go to camp. But that's the type of ball player Kurt and Steve Kemp, and that's what they that's part of them out there. My life is part of these guys. All my teammates. I had some time to share with Kurt. Everybody. I hope we get back looking some of our mission ball players and get some more of our kids back involved for mission in the Tiger organization.
Well, you brought up the name of Charlie Dressen. I know that was tough for you when he passed away. You were very emotional, as you were when Tiger Stadium closed down as well. Tiger fans will remember when the curtain closed. There you are running out there.
How good did that feel?
Oh man, I tell you, that's things like that. That's love, which you pay respect that people. Spend a lot of energy. Talk about Charlie, talk about Jim Campbell. When I lost my parents in '65, New Year's '65, them 2 people met me at my home. And they was there in '65. I got back for New Year's in '65, and I remember Dressen was there and Jim Campbell. And Jim Campbell said, well, you want this year off, you can have the whole year. And, all them flashback, but, I went on and played, and I think that was everybody say he had a good year, but I think that first year was something special to Willie Horton because I dedicated it to my parents.
Runner goes, and the 1-2 pitch swatted foul by Palmer. Tigers leading 1-0. Higginson the runner. And Dean Palmer continues at the plate. We continue to chat with Willie Horton.
I would like to hit in this ballpark, though.
You would like to hit it?
Oh, yeah, I love this one. I got a lot of room out there. I can get a lot of hits. I never pay no attention to dimension. Everybody said about how far it is. It don't look far to me because I never got in looking at what's on the fence, but I like the Lions how it open up. Man, your old Yankee Stadium, if you can get a lot of base hits, I think it can help a hitter because you start staying with the whole ballpark.
Dean Palmer down on strikes. Willie Horton, it's your day today. Thank you again so much for coming up. That'll be a very special moment. Thanks so much for your time. It is.
Congratulations,
Thank
Willie.
you, Kurt. Thank you, baby.
1-0 Tigers on Fox. Thank you, Willie.
Was very emotional. I haven't seen so many hugs since the junior prom, I don't think. But he loved it, and his whole family was there, and I think that made it extra special for him.
Luis Polonia in the Tiger 5th inning. It is 4-1 Astros right now. Ernie Harwell, the voice of the Detroit Tigers since the very early 1960s. Polonia pegs one into left. And Ernie, I've got to say, and I know you're going to accuse me of blowing smoke and all of that, but can I tell everybody how old you are?
Well, absolutely.
82, and you're in way better shape than I am. I'm 31. This is a guy that gets up every morning, jumps rope, 0700. I'm still sleeping, get up, watch some cartoons. And I know, speaking for Gibby, who's 40-something, we can only hope that when we're 50, we can get up at 7 a.m. So.
And the voice, how do you keep your voice in shape? I can't hang like that.
I just keep talking, that's all.
Well, if you do us a pleasure, we're going to let you do that, please, so that the rest of our Fox audience can be reminded of what a real play-by-play guy sounds like.
Hey, come on now. I'm just taking the 5th here, that's all.
1 strike to count to Rich Becker. And a toss over. You've gotten accustomed to the new digs here in Detroit, but obviously I'm sure you've still got a soft spot in your heart for Tiger Stadium.
I have, Josh, but it's got to be treasured as a memory because this is a great ballpark, and I love it here, the way they've taken the old-fashioned ambience and put in all the modern conveniences and made it a really fan-friendly ballpark, and everybody loves it.
Now, Ernie, you've been around and watched the game evolve as it has. You always have so much energy about the game when others maybe seem to get bogged down by some of the changes in the game. How do you do that?
Well, it doesn't bother me, Gibby. I know that being sort of a historian, that everything goes in cycles, and you have different eras in baseball, and I think the great thing about the game is you do have great eras, and I believe change is inevitable, and I'm not one of these good old guys, good old days guys, you know. I think the players today are bigger and stronger. Maybe we do have expansion, and the pitching has been watered down a little bit, but it's still the best game of all, no question about that.
1-2 the count to Rich Becker. Bobby Higginson on deck. And the count moves to 2-2. Well, how about some of the new ballparks and comparing them to some of the old ones? What are your favorite ballparks, either older ones or newer ones?
Well, the new one, my favorite is right here. I love the Camden Yards, too, and then the park in Cleveland. And among the old ones, I love Wrigley Field, like everybody does, and Fenway is a favorite of mine, too. And I've got a special place for the ballpark in Kansas City. I think they've done a great job there. They've kept it up so well and maintained it.
Looks like it was built yesterday.
They do a great job there.
You weren't broken-hearted to see the Astrodome put out to stud, though, huh?
No, sir. No.
Runner goes, base hit, Rich Becker. And Ernie Harwell continues to be good for the Tigers, as he has been for the last 40 years. We turn it over now to the Hall of Fame voice of the Tigers, Ernie Harwell, as Bobby Higginson comes to the plate.
Thank you, Josh. It's great to be with you guys. Higgy has been sort of the turnaround guy for the Detroit Ball Club. He began to hit and this year, and the rest of the team began to follow him. He's up now with runners at first and third. The Tigers are trailing 4-1 in the last half of the 5th inning, and they've got a chance to get back in it against Jose Lima. Ball 1. Well, Higgy flied to right to end the 1st inning, and then with 2 out in the 3rd, he had a single. And we're going to have one of those inevitable conferences at the mound.
That's in your honor, by the way, because that means you get to talk longer.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Lima's hung a lot of them. He's hung more than a vindictive judge here this afternoon, hasn't he? But the Tigers haven't really taken advantage of those hung curveballs, I don't think.
Well, they haven't. And here comes Bert Hooton. One of the things Jose Lima can be is he gets a little, I don't know if you want to call it hard-headed, but one-sided in his opinion. And Obviously, there's a difference of opinion between Lima and his catcher, Bert Hooton, out there to mediate.
Well, he's a very animated kind of a player, isn't he, Gibby?
Yeah, shows a lot of emotion. Doesn't like to fail, obviously. Very driven pitcher.
I like to see that in an athlete. I like to see the emotion. Sometimes it does overflow a little bit too much, but it has to be contained.
Well, he does show the emotion both ways, though, good and bad.
And there's a strike that'll even the count on Higginson. Man on first, man on third. Nobody out. The Tigers are trailing 4-1. Fly ball hit toward center. It's not deep. Odago is there. Here's the tag coming down the line, but headed back is Polonia. So there's one out. Runners still at the corner.
Well, Jose Lima right there offers Bobby Higginson off speed. Higginson out in front. Not what the Tigers were looking for. With nobody out, Luis Polonia is going to stay at third. Here you see him out in that front foot. Look at Jose Lima now looking for a double play ball.
And the batter, Dean Palmer, who's been a run producer for the Tigers lately. He scored the Tiger run in the second inning. There's a strike called. Dean doubled in the second, went to third on a foul fly, and then scored on a 2-out single by Osmus. And then he ended the inning in the third by striking out. Little tapper foul to the on-deck circle. 2 strikes to count on him.
Dean Palmer now want to shorten up your stroke, try and force the ball to the right side of the field. Lima looking for a strikeout or the double play.
4-1, Houston leads. There's a low one. 1-2. That's Polonia down the line at third. Foul fly out of play. Well, Gibby, I guess you got to see Willie Horton play a little bit, didn't you, when you were a kid around here?
Oh, yes, I did. Got his autograph when I was a youngster. Actually, my dad pushed me down there. Said, go get his autograph. Of course, a youngster, Willie Horton was kind of burly, and I was a little scared. I turned around to my dad and said, why don't you go get it for me?
2-2 the count on Palmer. Well, was that the reason you got number 23? Did it have anything to do with it?
It was not. Actually, I inherited number 23 when I was signed to Michigan State. It's a football number. Stuck with me. Now I guess I can say it's a number I wore, but is retired.
There's a pitch outside. And Hideo Nomo is still wearing number 23.
Yeah, he's grandfathered in. He will continue to wear number 23, although he'll be the last to wear 23.
I thought maybe they'd give him a Japanese number since Willie's the 23 was retired. 3-2 pitch. Base hit, left field. Polonia scoring. Becker takes third. Tigers cut the lead to 4-2.
Good at bat by Dean Palmer right here. Gets to 3-2. Looks like Lima with the sinker. Off the end of the bat. Broken bat. That bat goes down to Soldier. Becker was on the move. Now first and third for Detroit, trying to get back into this game. Larry Durker trying to stick with Jose Lima, let him get another victory.
And Davy Cruz, who's been moved up in the batting order, up there for the Tigers. He's had a single and 2 trips. Strike. Tying runs on the bases there at the corners. 4-2. Houston leads Detroit, 5th inning, with 1 away. There's a fly to right. Bergman going back and makes the catch. Here's the Tiger third. Becker will score easily on the sacrifice to cut the lead to 1 run, 4-3.
And Ernie Ernie, it's interesting. We talked to Phil Garner before the game trying to get an explanation as to why the heck Davy Cruz, normally the number 8 or 9 hitter, would be moved up to the number 5 spot in the order for the first time ever. And Phil Garner just kind of smiled and shrugged and said, it's a hunch, that's all, just a hunch. And so far, Cruz today, he's got a deep fly ball to move a runner from second to third. He's got a single and now a sac fly.
And here's Encarnacion. He fouls one away. Well, Davies, over the last couple of years, really has been one of the more consistent Tiger hitters. Encarnacion 0 for 2 for the afternoon. 4-3 now. Houston on top. Here's a tapper toward third, gloved by Spires. Throw to second, force out, innings over.
And that, unfortunately, ends our time with Ernie Harwell. He's got to go back to work on the radio. Thank you, Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ernie.
Thank you.
And it's now 4-3, Houston over Detroit.
Thanks, guys.
Is definitely the tops. Detroit native was signed out of high school by the Tigers and roamed left field in Tiger Stadium for many years, from 1963 through 77.
You know, the Tigers gave me opportunity as a young man, and now we look at people like the Tiger. I don't think no profession team hold any athlete anything. They give you opportunity, and so I'm grateful and have the gratitude. Said thanks.
How would you like? All right, Willie, time for you to leave the field because we have a game to play. The Astros and the Tigers.
Amazing, because in today's atmosphere in baseball, where players don't have economically don't have the ability to stay in one place for their whole career and they move around a lot. Here's a hometown guy who played for the hometown team and has stayed there the whole time, and this is pretty remarkable.
It is a very good story. Well, it's one thing for an athlete to be honored by his former team, but it means so much more when that athlete was also raised in that city, such is the case with Willie Horton. The Tigers retiring his number 23 jersey today at Comerica Park. Now, Willie's heroics on the field and his devotion to the Motor City away from it were saluted in today's pregame ceremony. A salute to Horton was also part of this, the salute today, yes, the new statue being unveiled out there in the outfield. Horton played with the Tigers from 63 through 77, helping lead them to this 68 World Series title.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been told some people a couple of weeks ago, I ended up down at Tiger Stadium about 5 in the morning, and I went back. I hope nobody didn't see me, throw me out there talking to myself to the old stadium and, you know, dreaming and thinking about the time playing strikeout off the walls, you know, slipping in the ballpark. And Rocky got my first part-time job down when he was in Cleveland and, you know, went on his side. All of that passed through your life.
So who knows, maybe the Tigers were inspired by Willie today, coming back from a 4-1 deficit to knock off the Houston Astros over there at Comerica Park.
He was not only a great player, he was a tremendous person. And today he took his rightful place among Detroit's former greats. Shireen Sasky takes it from here.
For more than 4 decades, Willie Horton has had a profound impact on this community. From his childhood days sneaking into Briggs Stadium to playing for the team he worshiped, then becoming a World Series hero, Willie Horton was and always will be Detroit. And after more than 14 years in a Tigers uniform and a lifetime of service to his fans, it was time for the people to give back.
And today we honor Detroit's hometown hero, Willie Horton.
You have to really know Willie to know what this really means. He's a guy that's a very, very sensitive person. He's a caring person, and he cares about this city. And for him to have his uniform retired is a great honor, but to put a statue out there is something that means a lot to him and his family.
I first met Willie when he first came out of high school. He introduced me to my wife, and for him to have this day, I'm thrilled as much as he is, you know, and he deserved it. I like it when they say hometown boy makes good, and he did.
I'd like to thank this village, this family, Detroit Tiger organization, giving me an opportunity as a young man to have a dream.
Horton was showered with gifts and praise, then honored as his number 23 was retired and his statue unveiled, proudly standing alongside those of 5 other Tiger legends.
Man, that's great. I didn't have no idea it looked like that. Man, that's more natural than I thought it would look. You know, it amazed me how they do that.
It's a tremendous honor for a great guy, a very caring person who cares about his family, cares about the city of Detroit, cares about the Detroit Tigers, and it's a tremendous honor and well-deserved.
With the unveiling of his statue and the retirement of his number 23, Willie the Wonder will forever be enshrined in the heart of Detroit. But the question remains, will he one day be enshrined in Cooperstown? I'm Shireen Saski for your Regional Sports Report.
All right, thank you, Shireen. Here's a look at some of Horton's career totals. You know, see if you think they're Hall of Fame worthy. Just about 2,000 hits, 325 home runs, 273 batting average. Horton played, again, from 63 to 80, 15 of those years with the Tigers. And I tell you, if they had a wing in the Hall of Fame for a player's character, generosity, selflessness, Willie would get in, no question.
Yeah, I was amazed at how lifelike the little mustache, the little Fu Manchu. Okay, we've got another baseball.